In this video, we're going to cover the main charts and to understand what the ongoing market sentiment actually is and why. We're going to look into the smart money buy and sell areas on Bitcoin and the S&P 500 and understand what this actually means. For members of the CTKS Method service, please make sure you fill out the form inside the service. I'll explain that a little bit more later on. And that's to get the indicators. 25 indicators will be coming out which show you the smart money buy and sell levels, and they are no extra charge. They're free so long as you keep your service active. With an active service, you'll be able to access them. If your service goes inactive, they will cease to work. We're going to look through the major crypto charts. We're going to see how the top gainers yesterday were performing. We'll check out how the top losers went. And we'll check today's greatest gainers and greatest losers. And there's some very, very important information that will really help you to lead a beautiful life as well. Stay tuned, it's going to be a lot of fun. In the main markets, in the last trading session, we saw the VIX, the fear gauge of the market, just plummet down. Always remember, the charts will tell you the true news. A lot of time, investors and traders look at the news. Instead, they should be looking at the charts. The charts already tell you how smart money is positioning. There was a lot of in-market consternation about the debt ceiling deal, but it was always going to go through. Why is that? It's just the way the markets work. And we've been talking about this for quite some time. And of course, it did go through. News headlines can also misinterpret what's going on. The Dow jumped 700 points on strong jobs data. Strong jobs data is not what the Federal Reserve wants. That is a tight labor market, and a tight labor market means that the Fed will have to increase yields. Ow! This is exactly the wrong thing in terms of a news headline. A tight labor market means constrained supply positions inside the economic system and a greater threat of ongoing persistent inflation. Yields would absolutely come up because if you look at the base target rate, 525, 25 basis point increase, 28.1% right now, up from 20.4% yesterday. It's very easy for the news to misguide people because, hey, sensational news headlines, they're just the best. And that's just what the news does. The news headline today will be the news headline tomorrow, but in the opposite direction. What we're seeing here is in the past trading session, the Dow jumped 700 points after the May jobs report came in hot. This is linking two dissociated events together. The jobs report coming in hot impacts the federal funds rate and it pushes it up. If the FFR goes up, we can see that yields are coming up. This is a problem. It's not the cause of the Dow jumping. The reconciliation of the debt ceiling problem caused the Dow to jump. And of course, there are many other factors as well. It's not just one or two. If you're relying on the news and not on the charts, you will be desynchronized from the market. So what have we seen? Debt ceiling solved. Yields increasing. Hot jobs report. Ouch. Endemic inflation. Ouch again. When yields come up, what happens to gold? It doesn't like yields. It's in a very adverse relationship with yields. In yesterday's episode, we had a lot of fun looking in a fun way at support and resistance and just making up stuff that makes it easier to remember things. Let's have a look at yields. Doctors for years have said that sugar is white death. What does this mean? If you have a lot of sugar in your diet, it actually, well, it funds cancer cells and lowers your overall health. Well, if sugar is a health killer, you can look at 10-year yields as like sugar and gold as like the health. So what do we see right now? The sugar was turning around, starting to think, oh, I might rush into the economic system and just collapse the health of gold down. And that's exactly what it did, and we saw it yesterday. I always think if we can make learning fun, it's going to stick. You need to understand things, not remember it. Then when you can look at the 10-year yield, you'll say, hey, sugar rush. Oh, sugar rush, gold is not going to be happy. Don't forget, these charts are interdependent and intercorrelated. If you understand these 8 charts and how they're moving every single day, you will be better off than 95% of people out there. We know that mathematically there's an inverse relationship between bond prices and bond yields. So bond prices are inverted like bond yields. So when we look at bond prices going like this, and we look at gold going like this, and we understand the sugar rush and the health and the inversion, if you want to understand gold prices better, look at bond prices. Please let me know in the comments, have you looked at charts this way before? This is exactly why we have Tier 1 charts. Tier 1 charts, such as gold, such as the US 10-year, they move the markets. They move all global markets, not just the US market. Yesterday, we looked into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is a very, very important thing to look at. Bitcoin gives the risk on or risk off appetite, and because it trades 24 hours a day, we can always measure risk inside global markets, literally inside global markets. When it comes to looking at Bitcoin, you can just say this is like trading risk sentiment. It's very, very, very valuable. And when we look at this 27,019 mark, price has been gravitating around there. It's thrown a support party and it's making its way up. Where's the next targeted level? Around that 27,935 mark. When we look at objective dynamic market structure, it's important to realize that ODMS, as marked up through the CTKS method, doesn't just change every time period. It can change with different things happening inside the economic system. For example, when COVID was occurring, ODMS would have thrown out signals that you would have need to updated your charts with. When I put my lines on my charts, I'm looking at so many things. I'm looking at market sentiment. I'm looking at the correlations, interdependencies, and synchronizations between all the different levels of tiered charts. I'm interpreting what smart money and retail could do. I'm then making decisions on how this could impact objective dynamic market structure. So if you see that your lines aren't the same as mine, just use mine as a source of truth and your charts as a guide. We're seeing that across the weekend we could expect potential positive momentum to be inside Bitcoin and of course crypto, so just keep your radar on that. But we always have our 3-dimensional risk management. We always need to flow on the choppy rivers of the market if we want to get synchronized. A lot of times people don't get synchronized because they make a decision as to how the markets will go and then they dig into that proposition. You have to be very, very flexible with the markets. Just understand, markets are always moving between SL levels. Let's do a little bit of time travel. In yesterday's video, the greatest gainers were Sand, Litecoin, IMX, Immutable X, Aptos, Mana, Cake, and Engine. What do we see here? Well, we can see that the top 8 actually gave a fairly good performance. Sand is not doing too badly. Litecoin is just kind of holding on. Immutable X did rather well, but it's just pulling back at the moment. What about Aptos? Not too bad. Mana, not too bad, but not too good. Cake, yeah, that's pretty fair. And Engine Coin, just relating to Bitcoin's gravity, just moving in that direction. As part of yesterday's active learning, we said, what rule is this one? No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. It's rule 45. You can see it's incredibly important. What is your favorite rule? Please let me know. Looking at the greatest gainers in the past 24 hours, we've got Tron. Look at it, it's gone ballistic, straight up the wall. Next up is LDO, up 10.51%. Arbitrum is up. Mask, Immutable X, still there. Injective is up. Gate Token, Filecoin, and a bit of Cake. The greatest losers, top 100 past 24 hours, TON, XDC, PAX Gold, oh poor PAX Gold, Casper, SUI, XMR, GUSD, HT, and BIT. These were the worst performing cryptos from yesterday's video. The graph, and what do we see with the graph? The graph is kind of just aligning with Bitcoin's gravity. Mask, it's done rather well. So just because something is in the top negative percentage movers doesn't mean it's bad. What about NEO? NEO is looking a little bit weak. TON is all over the place at the current time. Kava just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. VET is showing some weakness. AGIX trying to break out of this consolidative range at the moment. The S&P 500 is a very, very important chart. It's a tier 1 chart that moves the markets and moves the markets globally as well. Considering I've been in financial markets for many, many decades, starting my finance degree 37 years ago, and of course I was interested in trading way before that, so let's just call it 40 years, just round it up. One of the things that we always have trouble with is to say, where is the price going? To the right of this chart, not where has price been. A lot of people focus on where has price been. We don't focus on that with the CTKS method. We want to know where price can go and why. I invented the CTKS method from literally 40 years inside financial markets. How does the CTKS method work on the S&P 500? For members of the service, across the weekend I will be releasing the S&P 500 indicator as well as Bitcoin, and hopefully a couple more. What do we actually see here? These particular lines, they're called Stanfield levels, or SLs. SLs are incredibly important, and these SLs are marked up since 1871. This is not recent indicative price, and it's quite a job to mark up these lines, and it requires a very, very stringent auditing and quality assurance process. What do we see in the S&P 500? We can see that there were two very, very powerful Stanfield levels, one around the 4161 mark, and one around the 4108. What actually occurred here? We had a confluence. When price broke down, it went to a very, very concrete safety net. And we know the price loves to ping between SLs. It goes from one up and down, up and down. If it doesn't calm down, it's going up to the next one. When we see a lot of confluence of structural support inside the market, that is a very, very bullish case. Now you must remember the market sentiment around this particular area was anything but bullish. And we don't care about that because we care about what the market tells us. If you look at the news, you're going to be consistently desynchronized. It's just the way. What a lot of people do, a lot of investors and traders literally just refuse to turn on the news. And that's after a couple of decades. They just say the news is so utterly misleading. I listen to the news, I sell. I listen to the news, I buy. And at both times, it's wrong. You can see what a powerful thing it is to have this X-ray vision on where price could be going. This is what it's all about. And we notice that there's a resistance level at 43.14 and a support level down here at 42.69. So we just expect price to ping pong between these different levels. Rule 446 is incredibly important. You can't just look at the S&P 500 and say, I know where the markets are going. The markets don't work that way. Unfortunately, we all wish they did. But all markets are intercorrelated and interdependent, which means you must look at as many of the tier 1 charts as possible. Look at all of them, actually. If you're a member of the CTKS Method service, we're doing everything possible to get all the tier 1s out as well as the videos this weekend. If you are a member, please go to 00 and 4, accessing the indicators. Scroll down, there's a form there that you can submit. Once you've submitted that form, I'll know your details and can send out and give you access to the indicators when they're ready for release. Remember that there's always a very strict quality assurance and auditing process that every single indicator undergoes. For those who are new, please look at how the service works. There's a lot of information inside the service that's really helpful. After going through Level 1 CTKS Method Standards Certification, and there's a lot to do inside Level 1. And remembering, Level 1 is the foundation, Level 2 is the secret sauce, and inside Level 2 there's so many things that need to be done. It's not a simple matter to draw up a chart, but a lot of people think it is, but it's not. Therefore, it's all about the benefit of doing so. If you look at the S&P 500 and you were just reacting to the news and not objective dynamic market structure, you would never know where the true support and true resistance is inside the market. That could cost you your account. The price to learn and the price of not knowing are completely different things. As we enter the weekend, it's really important that we have that foundation of positive excellence when we deal with others. To become successful in any endeavor in your life, persistence and commitment and learning is 100% required. But it's also very important how you exercise your persistence and your commitment. Do you do it with kindness? Do you do it with gratitude? Do you do it with inner peace and outer peace? Or do you do it another way? A lot of people can have persistence and commitment, but they can be very arrogant, they can be mean, they can act entitled, they have inner conflict and seek to create outer trouble. Having one positive excellence quality doesn't mean that we don't have negative excellence qualities as well. But the problem is, if we have any of these particular things, we're in for sustainable misery, conflict, unhappiness, and failure. If you're new to the channel, a very warm welcome. And you might say, Ken, why are you talking about this stuff? I just want to make money. Okay, let's wave a magic wand and say, congratulations, you just made all the money that you will ever want. Who do you become and who are you now? A lot of people think that money solves every single problem. It doesn't. What solves problems is positive excellence. What creates problems is negative excellence. I always love to focus on the positive side. After all, this is where we set our sail. This is where we want to head to. But we must be mindful when we're sailing of the rocks. The concept of money is that it makes the seas that we sail really calm and we go in style. Sorry, my friends, it's not true. It doesn't matter who you are, the curveballs will come for you at some stage. It's just life. The Bible says the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. It's true, it does. We can't avoid the rain, we can't avoid the rough seas. But that's an external perspective. What about our internal perspective? If your internal environment is really strong, the external environment doesn't matter to you. This is why after many years, you put money to the bottom of the pile. Yes, it's really important. Make no mistake, it's important. But if it's your focus, you will always be miserable. Why? Why is that the case? And you may say, well, I look at every other YouTube channel. They're all about making money. Money. Well, of course, making money is great, but that can't be the only thing. A lot of people just assess their life, their worth on how much money they actually bring in. Your worth is much deeper than that. You're worthy already. It doesn't matter how much money you have or you don't have. You're already worthy. A lot of people want to be famous, and then when they get famous, they realize that they need bodyguards. They need to hide and mask themselves. They need to put on all sorts of outfits so nobody will recognize them. What's the point of being famous if you have to do that? How about just being happy? Fear and the thought of not being good enough drives negative excellence behaviors. That's the fundamental. When we're kind to ourselves, when we accept ourselves, and we accept other people, of course, as well, we can derive our methodology of dealing with life from positive excellence. Positive excellence is a kindness-based philosophy, but that doesn't mean it's weak. Kindness with strong boundaries is always required, but kindness first, boundaries second. Each day, it's important how you feel. If you feel good about your life, you're already very, very wealthy. The knowledge that you will gain across your life just should enhance that wealth, not detract from it. Kate and I each day do these videos for you, no matter how incredibly, insanely busy we are. And we do that because we want to help as many people as possible to navigate through the stormy financial waters and reach the shores of abundance and financial success, and be really, really happy along that particular journey, as well as being happy when you arrive. But of course, you never arrive. Success is always an elusive thing. As soon as you reach one goal, you'll just upgrade it to the next one. So success is a journey. Along that journey, you're going to get many curveballs, many things that push you off your path. But guess what? You're being pushed onto the right path. You're not being pushed from the wrong path. This is a revelation when you understand it. Your purpose and destiny, if you're here and you're watching this, is to spread kindness, empathy, and care, to contribute, to gain new ways of thinking, gain new skills, and be kind to yourself and other people. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Whoa, Kate spoke again. And thank you, Brett, for your very funny comment. I wish there were two of me and two of Kate, definitely. Have a great day ahead, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.